Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are joining us from in the world. Welcome to the final session of the first IHF Live Online Symposium. My name is Courtney Gahan. I'm a member of the IHF Media Group and I'm the moderator for this session this afternoon. To begin, I'll outline the translation options we have available. We have French, Spanish, Russian, and Arabic available if you are joining us on Zoom only. You can find these translation options at the bottom of your screen by clicking the globe icon and choosing the label for your language. Please note that for Arabic, you need to choose the label Chinese. This first IHF Live Online Symposium is part of a virtual academy recently launched by the IHF to facilitate global online learning and licensing. All of this falls under the umbrella of the IHF Education Center, available at ihfeducation.ihf.info. This symposium has comprised a total of 20 lectures presented by top handball experts from around the world. Now we are up to the last 4, and you can find all the previous lectures on the IHF Education Center and the IHF Facebook page. This lecture this afternoon is presented by former handball player, former World Player of the Year, and now coach, Rafael Guijosa. He is going to be leading us in a talk about building a collective defensive system. Please feel free to ask questions throughout this lecture. We will stop a few times to address your questions. And please also note this is being recorded, so you will be able to access it later. And enjoy very much. Rafael, we are ready to begin when you are.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much, IHF, for inviting me. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. It's a big pleasure and a proud to be here with you, all of you, to can share our experience in handball. Of course, it will be better to can have this communication face to face. For me to can explain better, for you and me to have better feedback between us, answer your question, make a question for me, and have a little discussion about everything that we are going to speak. Yes, as you can see in the panel, we prepare to speak about the collective reflection about the collective defensive game, and exactly give you my opinion and my work about how to build a compact defensive system. Of course, when all the coaches think about in general system of attack or system in defense, we think always in general things. We think about the movement of player. We think about the what to do if the attack is going to make me this problem between the back and the pivot, and think in general attacks and general things. And this is sometimes a little problem because we forget sometimes important things, very important things. And this is one of the things that I would like to reflection with you about how to build a system, a collective system. Of course, it's a personal opinion. This is not the system. This is not the rule. No, I think when the coach speak about the the systems, I think it's not only one system. I think there is a system, but if each coach have his system, there is a lot of system because there is a lot of coach. And this is my way here. Try to put you in, share with you my opinion about the system defense. And today we are going to speak about compact defense system. Then, okay, I'm going to try to do the first step after go to the collective game and go to the first steps when I think, for example, I'm going to start now a new season in a new club, in a new project. All of us think about is if new. I'm going to have a choice with a system defense. Where, when, start. What is the first steps? This is the most important, maybe, because it is the first step is the base for everything. And sometimes we forget this and go direct to build a movement for players and a structure for players. And I think the first steps always must be about the general objectives of defense. Don't forget. I'm going to explain you now in one slide about these important things. What is the main important things in defense? Don't forget when we are building about a general system in defense. We think about the general objectives in defense, to avoid the goal, to lose the ball, to the possession of ball, everything I'm going to comment now. And other operational objectives that are going to, depending on the defense system that I'm going to choose, and depending on my philosophy of defense, I'm going to choose, I'm going to put the information, individual information, the operational information for group tactical, and I'm going to distribute this objective general and operational to confine my system and with my philosophy of defense. Of course, as I told you before, my philosophy of defense is my personal vision of defense, but if, of course, if like a Spanish handball coach school, no? And I'm going to try to explain you perfect about my idea and about the idea in handball, Spanish handball. Okay, when we design about the objectives and think about the most important operational objectives that I'm going later to explain you, we need to choose one thing. The most important step later is identify the rivals, the generals and specific characteristics of the rivals. Because sometimes you have one idea of that you like. I like, for example, the open defense, but if I'm going to play against rival that I'm really faster, really danger in the one-to-one and perfect work game with a big space, then it's not a good choice for me. Then, in the same way, what is your competition? It's not the same to confine a system defense if you are going to make a league for 16 teams, if it is a league for 10 months, or your competition is with a national team, for example, and win a trophy or in World Cup. There is 2 weeks for competition and it's different rivals. No? Then I need to know what is the different rivals that I'm going to beat. And in the most important, in these different, what characteristics individual and collective they have. What are the weapons in collective game? And where are the most important and danger players and this weapon for this player? A shooter, are better in the one-to-one, everything. All that we can analyze about our rivals is perfect, or the little details is perfect to identify before we decide about to choose a system. And later, when we have clear the objectives and we have clear how are the rivals, we decide or initial plan it about different systems. Normally, all the coaches in all around the world, in all the levels, normally we have two system difference. No? One compact system, more near, for everybody understand, near 6-0 or 5-1, close, no space, a compact system defense. And try to be able to implement another system, normally open system. But I'm going to explain you now in another slide about this. For me, for example, is my opinion, is sometimes it's difficult to find two completely different systems. For example, if I have players and I have rivals who can work in the compact system that I'm going to show you now, it's difficult to find a completely different system, the open defense system with a pressing. I didn't find never. I find another system, but with similar behavior in the individual action and similar behavior in the collective group action. I'm going to explain you later with some videos and some. Then when we have this, we are ready to choose our system. But don't forget, the main idea in defense never, because sometimes I told you it's critical for me, for myself, but I critic for all the coach sometimes forget the most important. And the main idea in defense is avoid the goal. There are two general objectives for the effective defense always. Avoid the opponent scoring opportunities and goals, and effective recovery of the ball. And sometimes we prepare exercise and tasks for our players, think about the movement in defense, the collective system, and forget these simple things. And go for the general and forget the simple. And this is a mistake. This is a big mistake. Because if we don't have clear the general objectives, sometimes something is not good. And maybe we think about looking for the solution in the system, in the tactic, and the problem is because maybe we forget everything about the most important. But there are, as I write you here, there are other defensive objectives, nonetheless. There are tactics objectives to avoid the placement of a player in a dangerous offensive zones without opposition. It's not only wait for the war one-to-one. We must do something about intentional tactical and critical situations to harass the effective movement of the ball. Don't permit the ball, don't wait always, don't permit the ball move uncomfortable, okay? To impede the shooting opportunities. And always fight for every ball, control ball and uncontrolled ball. This is very important. And this is like and never forget this in all the training, in all the match, in all the competition, all the information that we are going to give to our players. Sometimes we need to remember some important things. For example, in one timeout, tell the players, hey, guys, the most important now is don't receive the goal. This is sometimes is the best information that we can do. These first steps, like you know about the general objectives and this step about identify rivals, that going a little step more. We need to know about philosophy. I always tell my students and my players, we need to enjoy defense. Why only enjoying attack? Is more beautiful. Also, you can have a good work in defense. And in this idea to teach the players how to enjoy defending, we must think about our philosophy. And the philosophy, and sometimes in the same way that I'm telling you now about the objectives, sometimes forget that the ball's movement is the most important. How the ball's movement, defensive blockade, sometimes we block the ball for not shoot. This is very important, and the interception stability dynamics. And the most important, maybe in the defense system, is the ball zone. And sometimes forget the ball zone because we are thinking about what's happening on the other side that is not important. This is very important for philosophy of defense. What is the most important? The ball, the movement of the ball, and the ball zone. And also, the most important, the opponent with ball. What's happening with the opponent with ball? There is no system collective if we have no players, defenders, that we can win the defensive duel always. Be stronger in the one-to-one situation, and give me confidence, give me safety for everybody, ¿vale? And good collaboration with the goalkeeper. We shoot the tactical situation. This opponent with ball maybe cannot spread to me, but he can shoot. I must to do something to help my teammates goalkeeper. And this is very important in these two things. We must transmit obsession for the ball for all players. This is one of the most important ideas. And also the opponent with ball, without the ball, who avoid to the attacker without the ball reach to the effective offensive zone without control, for example. Avoid the attacker feel reach effective zone, and avoid that the player catch the ball in optimal conditions, attacking, ready to shoot. This is information that I must to give for my players when they are in distant zone of the ball. They are don't control the ball, the players without the ball. No? And then with these three issues about the ball, about the opponent with ball, and the opponent without the ball, we are ready to build a system. With all of this, we are ready to build a system, and then we are going to make the operational objectives for a compact defensive system. This is not the same for upper system. This is not the same for other. When we are thinking about the compact system defense, is because we are going to try to avoid the goal in the effective zone in between 6 and 9 meters. Between 6 and 9 meters, my system structure of players. I'm going to distribute the players in this zone, and I'm going to put a big, stronger system defense in this zone. It means that I'm going to receive goal. We want to receive goal from outside shoot. Okay, we accept this. We accept the goal for outside shoot. But we are going to work about this. But the most important objective is avoid the goal in the effective zone. The goals for match ball for outside shoot, for backs, for playmaker, but 9-10 meters. okay, are in the winds zones with a low angle for shoot or no good condition and the balance for the body. We are going to propose our compact collective movement for all our players to can get it, to can get that don't receive goal between, for example, a feint in the middle of the defending 6 meters, or don't permit the pivot receive the ball in comfortable situation to can shoot in 6 meters. This is the good. This is the objective for this kind of compact system. When we decide this, we must to accept this kind of thing. And one of the most important thing about we are going to speak, and then this is my first idea I would like to transmit you and is to dominate the defensive zones. We are going to think and going to explain about, don't think information, individual information of the players about the opponent only. This is your opponent. No, think, give information about the defensive zones. This is the most important. Each player must to do something in his defense zone, and everything the pass in his defense zone must to be the maximum responsible. I'm going to explain you later. And one of the most important thing when we identify the body, the rivals, and we see in the same team we have different rivals. One shooter, one stronger in and faster in one-to-one, and then we need to vary the individual information depend the rival. Maybe one match play one system, and maybe the next match we change something information individual. Maybe in the 10 first minutes we have a behavior in collective movement, and in the 12 minutes they change one player and we change one for example individual information for player, and all of this make me a system, one idea of system in defense. Okay, as I told you before, I'm trying to find two completely different systems, but I didn't get it, never. And sometimes when I analyze my rivals, I also see the same. We have normal two-system defense, for example, 6-0, 5-1, always normally, but not completely different. There are, as I put you here, in a compacted defensive system, and would like to try an open defensive system, or little open, or different system maybe. We need to find the same tactical groupal work or similar tactical groupal work, not completely different. You understand me? If we are working, for example, in 6-0, and my open defense is a 1-5-1, the behavior between groupal work must be the same information or similar information, not completely different. And only need to vary the individual action, only need to vary the individual information. Maybe this is enough. And this is perfect to can build a system defense. Keywords that we are going to use in this communication with you. Very important words, because this word give us tasks for training and give us information, tactical information for the intentionality, tactical information for all players. With adaptation all time. What the attack is done. What they do, what I'm doing, in what time, in what speed, what we must do constantly adapt, but not wait always. Adapt and try to anticipation the action for the attack. For this, now everybody have a good material, technical material with video and analyze, and then we can adapt and anticipate or individual action or collective action for something that the attack are going to do. And reason. Think about dissuade and ambiguity. Dissuade is mean to try to avoid the movement of the player, and to try to dissuade the movement of the ball. When we are playing with give information, individual information or player, don't give clear information for the attack can adapt always their action for because we are always making the same behavior. If we can, with these two possibilities that we say, and the ambiguity, don't give clear situation, clear distance, clear orientation for the attack, and try to make always adapt for the behavior, for the movement, for the ball, for players. Okay? This keywords, and then I tell you now, it's about individual condition, tactical choice. About more collective defensive zone, as I tell you now. Don't forget now only the information about the opponent direct. This is good, this is perfect, of course, this is very important. But give us information about defensive zone. What is the defensive zone that I must do? And what must I do in this defensive zone? Okay? Of course, this individual action I'm going to make in all of this, in adaptation, in anticipation, in reaction, in dissuading ambiguity, is not only one-to-one actions, it's not only one-to-one, okay? And threat to defense, the blind point. What does mean the blind point? For example, try to defense behind the back of the defenders. If I go to press in 9-10 meters, this is normally easy for players because they want to stop the ball faster, they want to stress to go in fast break. But the most important in this compact system, if we are going to work in the 6 and 9 meters, if you go 3 meters up, please go faster 3 meters down. Okay, then close the space. And for this, and when this idea of defensive zone, try to help and assistance the defensive zone for my teammate. If my teammate don't permit a shot in 9 meters, for example, falling back. And what the most important, as I tell you before, marking this individual action. If there is no system, if there is no good marking players, there is it's impossible. We can think about a tactic, we can watch video and study and analyze everything, but if your players don't have a good individual action, we have a big problem. Okay, about reflections on a collective defense and continuing this side. In this, I tell you before, sometimes the coach have a mistake when we are thinking about systems. We go, excuse me, I have a, excuse me, the direct have a problem with the video. I told you when we are in general, the coaches have an idea with a system. Normally, we think about general movements, general ideas, and general things. This is a problem. This is a big problem. I was explaining you about these technical and collective tactics, and tell that this is the most important now to can organize the individual tactical, technical skills and all training and the information, individual information that we are going to give our players, and in the collective tactics to assist and to collaborate. These two components give us a defensive system. And I'm going to explain you that I told you before when I started. Sometimes the coach go direct for the general movements. Sometimes the coach, when we are thinking about the defensive systems, going to the general movement with the general movement of attacks, and forget this. And this is sometimes the most important. To can control this, can control the individual technical and the collective gain, and these together, and give us our proposal for defensive system. Okay. When we are think about and continuing the reflections of collective gain, and as I told you, we are decide about explaining about the defense compact system, and we are going to the first operational objectives is how to distribute the players. Okay, there are three important things when we are think about systems: the structure, the individual and the collective operating criteria with zones, and the tactical intentionality. When we think about the structure, we are thinking about, for example, a 6-0, but not only 6-0. We can have a system, compact system with 5-1. This player, for example, in my method, the same, the other players, big compact system near him. This is important for this individual information and this groupal information that I'm going to control this time. Then for system, the most important, the structure, how to distribute the players. We distribute the players in this site, effective zone between 6 meters and between 9 meters. We are going to put all the 100% of our action are going to do in this site. We don't need to go up for 15 meters. We don't need to open big space. We need to be compacted and be together and be united in this site. And then in this structure, we are going to give individual and collective operating criteria by zones. This is mean that all the players must do and understand that they have a special zone, and the teammate have a special zone, and everybody must do defense the zone in defense. For this player, for example, this is the individual zone. Okay, I'm going to send you this individual information. I'm going to explain about these two centers players. This individual information, for example, for this center, his information is everywhere who come here and attack in this zone is for him. For example, the action for center in the palm, the right zone, the right side. The action for right back in the danger zone, the effective zone for shoot. But also, if this left back come here with a situation of a game, collective come here, or this win, or this other win, everybody who come here is the responsibility for this player. In always, they are going to shoot here, they are going to up. Okay, this is the main idea. Of course, in the other side, the same for this. All the action who come here, the right back who come here, or the left back who come in the effective shoot zone, or the pivot situation, everybody must to know that all the responsibility for this player is this zone. Sometimes in 1-to-1, sometimes maybe 1 against 2. Sometimes, but this is one of the most important things that I'm going to explain you now. For example, in this action, this player is the most important. Don't have mistake. This is your responsibility. It's your zone. Is this player always know that. Sometimes in your coach, everybody, we don't know exactly who go up, who is the responsible for the pivot, or who is the responsible for the playmaker. In this system, we have this solution. We give this solution for the players. This zone for this center, this zone for this center. And then what's happened? We don't know, but this information for players, and give a compact system. Now the important is, as I tell you, the zone, the ball zone. What's happening here? Maybe 1-to-1, maybe 1 against 2. We don't know, but we need the clear information for groupal and the individual answer for all the players. Give this idea, compact system, and try to find superiority numerical when the action is going to finish. And in the other side, stand side from the ball, give preventive defensive assistance. He's 100% working in these rules, and they are 100% concentration in the other rules in other game. You understand? I need to show you in all the presentation. In the same way, in this action for this responsibility, never go here, because they broke our compact system. Always go the center and close the space and give a compact idea. Okay, I'm sorry. This is a compact idea, and this is I'm going to show you in video. This situation is clear. Nothing, never doubt. Always go here. You have this possibility, this zone. these two players, the compact idea in system, and this player go up. Don't worry, don't know that always this situation. And in this position, of course, we accept that we have in maybe in situation in this position, maybe, but the main idea that we are going to do something is, I tell you before, is about the ball zone. The most important is the ball zone, not the near for attack. This situation for shoot, this situation for pass, the communication between the back and the pivot is the most important. And try to find this superiority numerical. 3, as you can see, defenders, 2 attacks. Okay? And let him to play the other side and continuity in this world for all the players. This is one of the most important ideas. Another thing is, as you can see here, maybe other function. Okay. Another kind of behavior, and I'm going now to stop. If you agree after this slide, if you have any question or you can better the presentation. Okay. Sometimes, for example, about what I telling you about the individual action, about dissuade and anticipate the action, with anticipation and dissuade. Sometimes with this is the danger because make a no compact system, but we try to do something with intentional tactic, not always, with sometimes for surprise. And the action always must be to compact system. For what? Maybe because we don't want the game come here and make this press, this dissuade action to obligate the ball go in the other side. And we will answer for this question. We don't know if this player go or this player go. We don't know. But the most important is what we do in answer for the player choice. Normally going to adapt and close and everybody come here to close and as soon as possible give again the compact system. I'm going to show you in the video. Look this defender. This defender have a choice and obligate in the tactical conditionate to the attack. Don't can go here to make the attack. I'm going to provocate that the ball come here and make the action here. And we will see what's happened with this player, and with this player. We will see. The answer and give us again a compact system. You see, post finish. I tell you again and answer you and explain you the last. This first action, anticipation, dissuade, intentionality, tactical, individual tactical. The game we want come here. And after the games come here, this action. And this action, the reaction, the choice for this player is quickly go to save the ball. And if I continue this position, as you can see when it's ready to finish, this other action with the impar defender, okay? And this is a perfect tactic answer work. This is a perfect because the defenders know exactly what to wants to do with the attackers, okay? And this is one of the secrets from my friend from his coach in Spanish national team. Okay, finish with this slide. And if you have any question, I answer. This idea, and then we need to find this idea of a collective, powerful compact. There is not our second defenders never go, because if they go when the ball is in the zone, not like we see now with the player here. With the ball is in the zone, we always protect and give density and give compact system and give this for the ball zone density. And in the other side, okay, we are in inferiority, no problem. We can work and see like you see now. This is one of the most important things that I'm going to comment now. If you want, Courtney, if you have any question or if you want to continue as you want, I have 20 minutes more and finish as you want.
We have one question.
Yes.
He asks, what is the solution when the attackers change position to increase the number of attackers in a particular place on the court?
Yes, the solution is the same solution, is give more defenders players than attackers. This is the try. And if they put us more players, is better for us because they don't have big space for attack. And don't forget that our system is a compact idea system. And then maybe we receive shoot for outside, but this is one of the objectives, operational objectives. And there is no problem. The big problem it will be if this attacker separate one player, because this is broken and completely, and with consecutive pass they can find the solution to attack. But the idea, we don't think about what's happened if they do that. No, we try to adapt our action, we try to anticipate our action, and to try to drive the attackers when we want to stay.
Okay, there's just one other question, but I need to translate this one so we can answer it later. So you can continue and we'll have some more in the next break.
Okay, I continue then?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Of course, later, Courtney, when I finish, I think we will have time enough to answer another question that I'm sure now when I show you now the videos, maybe they are going to ask something now.
I think the people normally take some time to warm up, so I'm sure there'll start to be lots more questions.
No, for me it's okay. For me it's okay. Okay, I continue then with the presentation. And then I think this is clear for everybody, and this is very important because I'm going to find this kind of solution. And in our training, we need to propose and to ask all players a lot of situation in this work in inferiority, because our system, this is provoke this situation in the attack. Adapt in our work defense, and he can separate. We need a player who can have a perfect work in all the situation in inferiority numerical. Okay, this is a plan more or less. As you can see, there is not individual works only. No, there is zones that some zones that are near and between and united. There is only circles individual. It is a completely map of zone defensive. It is very important for understand everything. Okay. As I told you, normal. This is easy for me to explain you because the attackers no move. But when the attackers is moving, there is a problem. More problem goes for the defense. For example, when they move the pivot behind the back of the defenders, or where the backs are moving, move the ball, move the players, of course, start to give problems for defenders. But we need to understand, never change all information, never change. Don't think about the opponent direct, because maybe have a mistake about the opponents, change the opponent, maybe. Think about the zone, what's happening in your zone. Maybe they move the players, they move the ball, but your zone is your zone. You cannot have a mistake, you cannot have doubt about your zone, okay? And this is very important for everybody, understand. Put always and give always, try to do always superiority numerical when the action in attack is going to finish before, okay? In this situation, I'm going to show you. You see the word for this player. It's correct, but in the last moment, he is in his thumb, sorry, excuse me. this positive. He can move, of course, but when the ball is in the zone, this player must be close here because this pivot is going to be here. And this is the problem. You understand? We need this in this position with this. Excuse me, I'm going to erase in the last moment. In the last moment, this situation, clear and compact system in the last moment, when he's ready to shoot, when he's ready to play with pivot, when he's ready to feint, or when he's ready to make danger in the effective zone. Compact system. This is, and not try to don't have mistakes because maybe one player go out and individual, make one individual action. In individual action, they completely broken the system. This is one of the most important information that I'm going to do to give, all players. Don't broke the idea collective. You can work in the individual movement, but always with the same discipline rules in the defense. This is very important because if not, the system is broken. Okay. Another idea of working with the ball now, go with the national team men's with a similar philosophy of game, of course. And then the idea of game with this zone, this criteria for super technical America, and the obsession for the ball, not only go out for the ball, going in the side, in the zone, in the effective zone, fighting all time, the obsession to find and recognize the ball position. They push you the video in a normal speed and try to follow all the players who are working in the individual and collective situations about all these main ideas. And of course, always think about the ball, not only about the opponent, about the ball, the most important. And sometimes, of course, these ideas sometimes have this problem, mistake, no problem. We must to answer about maybe he has a mistake. Maybe no, maybe it's our system will go to attack and we go to anticipate, and sometimes we find this. Maybe we stole the ball and go in counter attack or fast break, and maybe don't stole the ball, but the most important is not the mistake, the most important is the answer for the teammates. This answer is the most important. This answer, this. Or stole the ball. You see this player who is. This player is the fourth defender for this side, the far side. And he is who come here and save the ball and recuperate the possession for the ball. This is the importance for this system. Okay? The obsession for the ball, the obsession for the ball zone. And try to find, no, it's important the other zone. The important is this side. I'm going to put you again this video. You can recognize and comment again this situation. Because you can see and follow, please, all the sequence attack. They are working all time, working in individual condition, but everybody know where is the place to work. And the most important thing is not the static, it's the ball. Is the ball the most important? And this is, they are ready to do it. They are ready to do it. And then the most important for a coach is what we do when we have a mistake. A collective answer, this answer. This is a collective answer. This side is no problem. This side is no problem. The problem is the nearest, the near place that we are danger near here. Or shoot this player or pass the ball this player in this side. If we get that this ball go here or this ball go there again, this is one exit. This is a big point for the defenders, and we're going to try to do always this situation. Okay. Of course, it seems there is a lot of work in tactical, groupal, a lot of work in the training, and of course, good players for this tactical individual choice and player for the groupal collective tactics. As I raise you now, in the individual and collective altogether, the coach is very important in this side. I tell you now and write you here. Give a good guidelines in the defensive zone for the players in collective groupal tactics. all the players must to know that the responsibility in his place is the zone. This player is his zone. It's all the important thing. We have two zones in the wing side, and then we have two zones in the center of defense. And all the players must to know who must to do in this zone, who must to do with the ball, and who must to do with the opponent without the ball, who wants to go in other side and other zone. And this is the main idea for understand how to build a compact system, defensive system. This is the idea. And then I'm telling you, this is the main idea, and then how building a compact system. And I tell you now, I'm going to show you now one example. For example, I'm telling you that even in the attack and in the defense, when I'm going talking about systems, it's not only individual action in defensive zone, in continuing individual action. It's something more. Something more. It's individual actions and collective tactic guidelines. These two together. I told you before. I tell you in the first slides. I continue telling you now between the collective game and the real game. This is the most important. Don't forget this and don't lose this way to these guidelines in the collective tactic, and give clear information and simple information and clear information of all defenders in the center to try to don't have big mistakes. Okay. Okay, one idea of a game, only to select my team in Ademar Leon. We are sometimes the teams work for change the structure in the attack in 3-3 with two pivots to come broke and try to make two sides and broke the compact system. And our idea is don't permit the tactical action broke our system. It means when they are going this wing to come change here, we don't permit this attack broke our system. You understand? For example, we decide here or win go out to don't permit the pivot go and 1-to-1 against him, because maybe obligate our defense to broke the space. And then this is the most important. Everything the attack do, always try to find this block compact in defense. Try to do it always. And sometimes maybe we go out to save the ball. You see? I'm going to explain you better later. You see? This player is in 8 meters. It's not planned. It's not clear in 6 meters. It's not mean a compact system stay in 6 meters. It means a compact together, a collaboration and movement. But we must go out. I'm going to show you in other slide about this, how to go to press out and how to answer for all the players. So this is one example about everything that we are before. Look at this, and this is situation. If you observe this player behavior and this player behavior, you can see that they go out. You can see they go out, and the problem, but come back and recover the position for the compact system all time. You see, all time. You see, this is very important for us. And okay, we will see about this same action. What is important? The important is, of course, you can go and come back. This is perfect for our system. And now, this is the most important. Stop. Press. You see, we can work in 10 meters. Why not? But the important is not this player working in 10 meters. The important is this answer for all the players. The important is this answer because all these players give me a compact system. All of them. They are giving me compact system. And then I can give this player this position. Of course, go to mark, go to press. Why not? If you feel comfortable. And this is one of the most important weapons that they have here, shooting here. We can do, of course. But you see, like a compact system, if we are thinking about, for example, in one 5-to-1 structure, but in one compact system also, the same situation. If I put you in pause the video and tell you, what is this system? Everybody tell me, this is 5-to-1. This means this idea that I'm going to propose you. A compact system, it means this idea. behind the back of the defender. This everybody must know. But I go another one step more. Look the behavior for this player. The behavior for this player is going, you see, the other player going to make the sway and the attack in the zone, but this player is going to recover the position quickly, you see, quickly. And the most important, and I'm going to explain you again, when the attack action, final attack action is done, superiority numerical, you see, 4 defenders, 2 attackers. This means the most important idea of this compact system. Okay. Okay, another example more. Now is I think for you better because in video is easy for you. Don't only listen to me and you can see the video. I hope you understand everything. And now I'm going to stop the video and explain everything. If you see all this movement for players, and in the last moment, same. This is the most important situation now. This situation, 3 against 2, and in this side, 2 against 3, and in this side, 1 against 2. That is not important here. That is not important here, but it's important because they are not waiting. As you can see, they are working also, but they are working in other tasks. They have no ball in the zone. They have no opponent with ball, but they are working also. They are ready. They are ready. This is the most important for our compact system. They are ready to do something. Maybe here, maybe intercept the ball, maybe go faster to quickly to assist my teammates. But the most important is this idea for you to show you, and this is near to finish my explanation, is this communication. As you see, this player is in the message. It's difficult for this player to can shoot and to can pass here and to can connect this game on this side. And we are going to try to do always, of course, the attack is going to adapt. And sometimes it's not possible to do this perfect system. But as you can see in this movement, everybody must to be ready. Everybody must to have a perfect choice, and the most important, have a perfect answer. This is the idea. This is with my team. I'm going to show you the last slide. We are near to finish the presentation. See you in normal game. This is important for coaches also to can analyze what's happening in a normal game. What is happening? What is happening? What is the danger? What is happening? And then I put you this video in red, normal, with no stops. And you can see, please, all the behavior for all the players are ready in this important thing that entering you. All the players are working. All the players are ready. One intentional tactic and one groupal answer in discipline, perfect discipline. Then I'm going to answer you now. This is very important for us to can understand there is a lot of work, of course, behind there to can find this kind of players. And you can see this first idea. You see these 4 players between 2 defenders, between 2 attackers. Excuse me. Building a compact defense system means this. And in the ball zone is the most important zone. Of course, continue working because the attack is a very good attackers, very good playmakers, Slovenian team, very good handball players. But he can't find the solution, continuing attacking, but the defensive is a compact system. And in the last moment, find the solution. In the last moment, find the solution that we want. Find superiority, you see. 3 defenders, 2 attackers. Of course, maybe they have find a better final. This is a problem for the coach in Slovenian. This is not for my explaining. But this is the most important for me to do now. This all the work that is maybe 1 minute defending, 1 minute, and never lose the main idea in the discipline rules to the last moment find the superiority and work always with more players, sensitive players, defenders in the ball zone. This is mean that is this explanation about the rules in the individual and in the collective. Next, please, and I'm ready to finish now with the last conclusion for you. It's mean the individual technical and tactical skills are the key in all defensive system. The key. And if we are coaches, as I told you before, some mistakes we have, we are going to think about systems and think only in collective game, in general movements, and this is a mistake we must do, of course. But don't forget that the key for a defense system is the individual component. To vary this information individual is going to make me improve my system. Or for example, if I buy the individual information that give similar freedom for the player who can do ambiguity, who can do like we are seeing the example that I showed you, creating something is an uncertainty and doubt in the attacker. Don't make him always the same distance, the same time. Try to change this with ambiguity, with dissuade, with create uncertainty. Dissuade the movement of the attackers and try to decide the movement of the ball and try to do the same things. One player do for the movement of the ball and all the players would do for the movement of attackers. Conditionate the movement of the attacker when in the place where we want. This is one of the most difficult tasks for the collective, but we will try. For example, obligate to go the attackers going in the blind point, not in the right zone, not the big stronger zone, going in the other side. Try to do it. And of course, in this individual information, try to vary the information about the interception. Interception, for example, if we are working about our defensive zone, try to intercept the ball. All the balls that you pass in the defensive zone, try to intercept. And try to go to intercept in the dynamic interception that we explained. Try to go to intercept the ball out of your defense system. But you must think of some player like Raúl Entre Ríos did here. Try to go in the interception in other zone and don't save the ball, don't take the ball. The most important is not the mistake. The most important is the answer for all the team, the collective answer for everybody, for all the players going in this defense zone. Okay, as I tell you before, was the most important, very, very important, to be able to defend the playing point behind the back of the defender. This is normal for players go up, go out for stole the ball, but the most important when the attack use the movement behind the back, or movement the ball, or moving the players behind the back of the defenders, give us a big problem in the system. For this reason, we must be ready to defense, have a good defenders in this progressive recovery, the position to back in the effective zone between 6 and 9 meters. Okay, and this is very important also. The information about collective tactical movement should be simple and clear for players because they are really big stress in the game. They are going to shoot. They are going to fight with pivot. Maybe the referee, maybe the score. We need a lot of. If we are going to give them a lot of information, a lot of ideas, I'm sure we will crush his mind. I'm sure, completely. For this, the information for coach is very important. A lot of time, too many hours to have analyze, have propose the player, taxing, training, and give collective tactical movement simple and clear. Working always to the ball. Obsession for the ball. Obsession for the ball zones. This is the most important, don't forget. The most important is the ball. The most important is to avoid the ball going into my goalkeeper's zones. This is the most important, don't forget. No? And that is all for me, Courtney. This is finished. I'll tell you the organization. Tell me, please, 1 hour, 10 minutes, and I did it. And excuse me about my English. Excuse me about the technical problems. I hope the videos have a normal watching, and I hope all of you are satisfied.
Well, we have a lot of positive messages saying it's very informative and helpful. So we do have a few questions. Someone has asked about this advanced defense you're talking about. How do the central defenders handle changing position? If the attack do a cross, for example, do the central defenders change position?
Yes, we depend. Depend. Yes, sometimes normal is the normal general is the rule is don't lose the defensive zone for each one, but sometimes we must to adapt this for the danger for the attackers. Sometimes try to change the opponent, but sometimes we cannot because it's going in the press and individual action, and we use the slide. I don't know in English is this correct. The slides is
makes sense.
Is change the zone. Is for you understand me? Is change the zone. Then there's no problem. This is only to find a solution with like an emergency. We need an emergency, and then you can change the opponent perfect. Each one continue in your zone, in their zone. But if it's not possible and change the zone, you continue working, and when the attack is stopped, you come back in your zone. But it's important for this, for example, sometimes give this information, different information for your centers. 2 centers until now. For example, if they are a good playmaker and they have a good pivot and they given us a big problem with cross and with movement in the first line players. Okay, we sometimes we choose the option and make one individual choice. Sometimes individual choice, and sometimes make the change opponent. Change the opponent.
The people do like detail, the questions about the details, so we have a couple more of those. Someone also asked about this system when you have inferiority, when you in your defense. How do you adapt when you have one less player?
One less player. Okay, but I work with the same idea. I work with the same idea. We must decide. The coach must to decide what we want, and then the same idea. We receive the goals for shoot outside, and we receive the goals in the wins point. Try to work. Of course, we need to work more. We need now more problems. Of course, because we are less, one player less. But the same idea is I told you before. I didn't find a system never with the same players who, if I change completely, have a good choose system. For this, if I need to put 5-1 defender, or I have in the 7 against 6, for example, or I have only 5 defenders, the same idea, the same information. Maybe if I have this rival, and this rival give me a big problem, for example, and lose the match, maybe when combat to play against, maybe change something or maybe do something against it. But the normal idea, the normal information is not change, and then try to adapt our problems and try to find the solution with a criteria and nobody the criteria.
Okay, someone else asked how the central defender should act if you do a 5-1 system. Yes. The center in the 5-1 system, we have 2 important things. First one is the center zone. The center zone, we distribute the players with one first player, 9-10 meters, another second player in the line, in the middle of the system. And these 2 center players, one of these has information sometimes about the
propose a problem in the creation of the game in the first line. And another is the responsibility, the center is the responsibility for the effectivity zone between 6 and 9 meters. And it's always the same idea, the same idea. The zone is changed, of course. Maybe the next time if the IHF invite me, I explain you about the 5-to-1 system, but with a compacted system with 5-to-1, because I need to explain you with a drive, with video, about this component. It's the same idea, only change the zones, because one zone is for one first player and another zone is for the center in the defense system. But the same idea, if I can understand, if this is the center and one back come here, this center go out. This is the responsibility for this center. And the other, the first player in the outside, have another situation. If you can see, for example, this behavior in Szeged with Kalman defender, this is similar that I tell you now. For example, this is a compact system with putting one defender in the 5-to-1. This is the main idea, but I cannot explain you only by words exactly, but because I have a problem for explaining.
Someone else asked if a player often is trying to intercept the ball and they miss often. What are your tips for helping this player to maybe develop this skill to be a bit better?
No, one important thing in all the system, when we are speaking about the system in attack and talking about system in defense, for the players, it's very important. They must to understand that there is rules, there is collective rules, and the discipline rules. If one of them broke, the system is not system, never. And it's the same player always broke the system, and the same player always go to try to find the ball and never do it. Okay, this is not good player for our system. We must to be serious with him and try to understand, or if it's not possible, change the system. This is the other solution.
Okay, and someone else asked about just maybe some more information about 2 versus 2. I think they probably mean the central defender and the line player, how these players, maybe some more information about these 2 central defenders.
Yes. Of course, you must understand that if we choose this system is to give a problem, and maybe the most important weapon for all the teams, that is the communication with the pivot. And of course, we will receive goals. Of course, we will feel beaten. The problem is not this. The problem is, as I tell you here, give a clear information. And if you always have the clear information, sometimes receive goal, but sometimes don't receive the goal. This is the important. And then try to find the discipline. That I feel, for example, always I work with my centers. Sometimes they forget the rules. And why? Because they receive goal, for example, for left back, or they receive goal for right back. And this make feel then doubt. If they receive that goal, maybe they think they don't do it a good work. And then for this is the important for the coach to tell them this is correct tactical work, and we are receiving the goal. Then we won't. If we won't receive the goal outside, don't worry. We will adapt this problem, but not change the collective behavior. Don't change the collective criteria, because if we change always that the attack beat us, we are going always losing. You understand? Yes. And then for this reason, the coach must to accept that we are going to receive goals, The coach must to accept that we are going to receive goal because maybe the players have mistakes, but the coach must to get that all the players to know exactly that they are making always the perfect. We receive goal, okay, go counter attack or go faster to chain or go to attack, but always we have the information that we know what to do. This is the most important for me. We know what to do. Receive goal, okay, no problem. Go to other fast in game, and constantly the players. For me, it's a problem. For example, I think is the answer for this friend. When the defense players look at you on the bench and tell you what's happened, and you don't know what to do, you don't know what to say. This is the most important for me. Always have the solution to tell the players, and the player always find the solution only with a look. Only with a look. Don't worry. This is no verbal language. No. Sometimes tell the players, don't worry, everything is okay. We are doing a good job, and we will done. No? This is the important.
Okay. Somebody else asks about this defense you've been talking about is yes, this compact defense. But what if the other team has very efficient wings? Like their wing players are very dangerous. Would you adapt, or do you still want those players to be the ones shooting?
Yes, good question. Good question. Yes, we will attack. We should adapt, of course. And for example, if they have 2 good wins in these 2 sides, of course, with when, for example, maybe this side receive the goal for the left back or right back in 6 meters and don't permit receive the ball for the win. Maybe we prefer one situation, shoot situation with a better angle for shoot, but don't permit the shoot for the most specialist and more danger player in the wing, for example. You understand? For example, if we are with very good, the best left wing in the world, I don't know who is for you, and we see and we test that the team is working perfect for him, and he receives the ball 1, 2, 3 times and make us goal. Okay, we will change something. We need to change something. Maybe don't permit receive the ball never for this win, and receive the ball in other side. Maybe for my goalkeeper, it's better than the left back shoot in the outside zone and not shoot the left wing. No? This is maybe one solution. Right. But of course, if all of you are more than me, more than 100 coaches are going to find the solution to beat my defense, sure. But I'm going to give you a solution always.
Okay, I'll just have one more question, because a lot of people have been asking about younger players throughout these lectures. And I think what you're talking about is more for top level and older players. But what age do you think is good to start to work with this kind of system?
Very good question also. If you see my presentation all times, I tell you that the most important is the individual technical and tactical and groupal condition. Why? Because if you have good players that you teach and you make steps in the age of formation, and they are perfect adaptation for all the contents in handball in defense. When they are professional, when they are adults, they are ready to can work in all the systems, open system, compact system, because they dominate perfectly all the individual tactical and technical condition and all the criteria and guidelines in tactical groupal tactic. For my idea, till 15, 16 years old, I like to work with the players' information with open systems to can give a complete formation in individual performance completely. And with younger players, never go in this compact system, because we lose about formation, we lose about behavior, we lose about everything. It's easier, for example, it's easier to teach one player to can defense a big zone, for example, to individual action, to can make to assistant defense with a big space, and later reduce this space. And you have a perfect defender, but not the same. If you teach the defender, children's, in only one, this, like I tell you today, for example, in only one zone, only between 6 meters, this is only for you. When you want to do something more, the players are not ready for this. And then for the reason, for adult, all the systems are ready. For me, the 16 open system, between 16 and 18, 20 years old, the players must be to know all the system and to be able to can work in all the system that you can propose them.
All right, then we can finish there. Thank you so much, and thank you for your very good answers. So everybody, I hope you'll join us again. We are back at 3 o'clock in about 30 minutes for the second lecture of the day. That is with IHF lecturer Tono Hewlin, and he will be talking about the last 30 seconds rule criteria according to the IHF Playing Rules and Referees Commission and the Commission for Coaching and Methods. So yes, I hope we'll see you then again. And thank you very much, Rafael. And
thank you very much, all of you, and I hope you see you soon. And I hope all of you have a good health, because now is because coronavirus, everybody have all around the world a difficult situation. I hope all of you have a good health, and Courtney and all of my friends in panelists, thank you very much for helping me, and we will see you.
Thank you very much. Bye, everybody.